your back. I'm touching your back?
Whose back are you touching? Mine or hers?
No! Stop! 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 Please! Please! Please!
Listen, that'd be crazy. Hold on.
What would you do if strange sounds surrounded your campsite, then a dark figure stepped out from the trees? These camping encounters happen to real explorers. Could you stay calm long enough to keep recording? Picture yourself walking beside a forest late at night when sudden laughter echoes out of the darkness. The sound does not seem entirely human, yet it also does not resemble any ordinary animal. What happens next would leave almost anyone feeling uneasy. On December 8, 2017, the owner of the YouTube channel Creepy7 Paranormal started filming while taking a late-night walk near a wooded area in Oregon. Out of nowhere, he picked up a series of unusual and disturbing sounds coming from the forest. Coyotes were commonly heard in the area, so hearing wildlife was nothing new to him. This sound, however, was unlike anything he had experienced before. It seemed almost human, as if someone or something was laughing somewhere within the darkness.
January 21st, about 11 p.m. I'm a couple hundred feet from my house, and you hear it going off in the background right now. Kind of sounds weird, kind of sounds doggish, hyena-ish, but you can hear it going off in the background right now. It's really kind of strange, just to say the least. It's been going off for about 15-20 minutes so far by the fire station. Listen, that'd be crazy. Hold on. I mean, that almost sounds like laughter. It's actually gotten closer since it started. It's probably only 200 feet, 300 feet from me right now. I don't know what it is or what that is going off right there. You can hear it. I mean, I've seen foxes and coyotes around here for a long time, and I'm not sure why. If foxes and coyotes have been around here that long, why we wouldn't have heard them before. And all of a sudden, since November, things have been just going crazy around our community. I think that was a gunshot. Somebody just shot over into the woods.
Certain animal vocalizations can sound remarkably similar to human screams, cries, or even laughter. During the night, trees and open terrain can also cause sounds to appear much closer or seem to come from another direction. Could it have been a paranormal entity, a person trying to draw him deeper into the woods, or simply someone pulling a terrifying prank? The real source may never be discovered, but he was lucky to walk away safely. What do you believe was making those sounds? Sophie lives in a home near the Appalachian forest. One evening, she was outside playing with a ball in her backyard when strange noises started coming from the woods. At first, she ignored them and assumed an animal was nearby. However, the sounds kept getting louder and seemed to move closer. Sophie began feeling uneasy and took out her phone, hoping to record the noise if it happened again. A few moments later, it did.
I'm like really paranoid right now. Ew, it smells weird in my mouth. Oh, that just went. Hello? I'm like, hell no, I'm out. I'm done. That's it. I'm out.
In the video, a faint whisper seems to call Sophie by name. The sound is difficult to notice at first, but once it becomes clear, it is hard to dismiss. Many viewers in the comments said they heard the same voice. Some believed it could have been a mimic, a creature believed to imitate voices sounds, or even people to lure someone closer. According to a well-known Appalachian warning, if something calls your name from the darkness, you should never answer. Sophie immediately ran back inside her house and locked the doors. Fortunately, nothing else happened that night. After dark, echoes and distance can make familiar sounds seem much closer or more human than they really are. Even so, the whisper appears to say her name. Was it only a distorted sound from the woods, or was something calling out to Sophie? The man was hiking through the Appalachian Mountains when strange screams suddenly echoed through the trees. Instead of turning back, he headed toward the sound and continued deeper into the woods. As he followed the noise, he noticed movement in the nearby brush. Feeling that something was close, he pulled out his phone and began recording. At one point, the video briefly glitched and the audio cut out completely. The man later wrote in the caption that he had not been injured, but he had no idea what he had encountered. He regularly hiked through the area and had never experienced anything like it before. According to his account, he suddenly came face to face with another person deep in the forest. They looked at each other for a moment before he immediately turned and ran. Fortunately, the unidentified figure did not chase him. The man made it out safely, but the figure's identity remains a mystery. Was it another hiker or someone living deep within the forest? Hannah's next encounter is just as disturbing. Dee is a 39-year-old woman from Ohio who enjoys spending time outdoors. As she regularly explores forests near her home, films her adventures and shares them on her YouTube channel, Dee's Dark Adventures. However, one walk along an old trail would turn her peaceful time in nature into a terrifying encounter. On June 19, 2024, Dee entered the trail on a warm, sunny summer day. Birds called around her, and leaves gently moved as she walked through the quiet forest. At first, the area seemed calm and secluded. As Dee continued farther along the trail, the daylight gradually faded and strange noises began surrounding her. Feeling as though something was watching, Dee started recording once again.
I can see movement between the trees. The light's off. You guys can't. I can see movements, but the trees are too close, so I get a glimpse of something black running back and forth.
She soon spotted a dark figure moving between the trees. It appeared completely black, making it difficult for her to identify. Then it came closer.
What is on my face? Hi. I gotta get down. I can't go home.
Two glowing eyes became visible through the trees. The figure looked tall and remained in the darkness, watching her from a distance. Dee had no idea what she was facing. Fear took over, and she followed her instincts by running back down the trail.
No! Stop! Please, I'm leaving.
Her screams echoed through the woods as she raced toward an open field, hoping she had finally reached safety. However, the encounter was not over.
I think I'm gonna stick up the field and walk up the road, even though it's gonna be harder. What is that? It's just, no! Dude, no! It looks like a person, man. But no person. I need a person. It just keeps getting up and down, up and down. Stop! Fuck, I can't run. Somebody drive by, somebody drive by.
When Dee looked back, the dark figure stepped out from the bushes and continued moving toward her from beyond the tree line. The footage ended abruptly at that moment. Dee escaped safely after the figure disappeared back into the forest. Some viewers believed it was a dogman, while others blamed dim lighting and reflected animal eyes. What do you think was following her? The footage was uploaded on August 29, 2022 by a man known as Kalahero, who shared the experience on both his YouTube channel and TikTok page. Kalahero was hiking along an Appalachian trail in Maryland when the atmosphere around him began to change. After walking for a while, he started hearing unusual sounds coming from the surrounding woods. Some came from behind him, while others seemed to come from ahead and from both sides of the trail. A growing feeling of unease made him think he was no longer alone. He pulled out his phone and started recording the area around him.
Definitivamente, sí hay algo en estos bosques, vengo caminando. Se oyen ruidos extraños. Es imposible que traiga la cámara prendida todo el tiempo. Se me iba a acabar la pila y iba a ser un video demasiado largo. Pero sí he sentido cosas. Una sensación muy extraña realmente. Creo que está peor que... Aquí realmente sí es una sensación totalmente diferente.
The experience was clearly unsettling. Faint sounds could be heard in the background, although none of them were distinct enough to identify. At first, Kalahero tried to ignore the noises and continued along the trail. Before long, however, the sounds became louder and seemed much closer. He took out his phone once again, began recording, and captured the noises as they continued around him.
No he sentido así una sensación muy rara. Algo hay aquí porque nomás de repente es un silencio total. ¿Oyeron? ¿Oyeron? Bueno, espero hayan escuchado, pero les digo sí hay sensación.
This time the sounds were easier to hear, suggesting that something was nearby. Whether it was an animal, another person, or something else could not be determined. Even during the day, the isolated woods along the Appalachian Trail can feel deeply unsettling when something remains hidden nearby. Forest acoustics can make sounds seem to come from several directions. Even so, the noises appeared to move closer. Was an animal circling Kalahero, or was someone hiding just beyond the trail? On January 30, 2025, the Paranormal Discovery team ventured deep into a reportedly haunted forest in Nova Scotia's Appalachian region. The remote area is known for its indigenous history and the unsettling stories connected to the surrounding wilderness.
If you guys missed our previous treks, we did trek, 2 times already? We're gonna go deeper, trying to figure out if there's a Wendigo here, spirits. You came in contact with the boy. We're off to the races again to go even further. I have everything on my back.
Oh my God.
Like 85% of the stuff we have is on me right now.
After hiking through the snow, the group eventually reached a location they called Moon Rock, the same place where they had camped during a previous visit.
Yeah, this was I call this area like Moon Rock because we were like right underneath the moonlight. Hey, right up there. Hey, there's a fire pit. I didn't even see that. Did you see that fire pit?
I did last night.
Oh, I didn't even.
Yeah.
Oh, we could have had a fire. Oh well.
Next time. We're starting to get the sun going down.
Careful. This looks slippery.
Beneath the moonlight, the area looked both beautiful and unsettling. The silence created the uneasy feeling that something else might be nearby. Once darkness settled across the forest, the atmosphere began to change. Everyone sensed a presence near the campsite, so the team activated a spirit communication device. Before long, a chilling voice came through.
Is that a path there?
No idea.
The child wants help.
Is
Child's
this Spirit
back.
Talker?
Yeah, Spirit Talker. Child's back.
Hi. We came back to help you. We actually made it one of our goals tonight.
The investigators immediately froze. Although shaken by what they heard, they stayed focused and explained that they had returned to offer help.
I'm upset.
What makes you upset? No, it's not that.
Do you need help finding your family?
They continued asking questions, hoping to understand who or what was communicating with them.
You can trust us.
They keep secrets.
What? You can trust us though. We're here to help you, truthfully. We will cause no harm at all.
The responses remained unclear until the voice suddenly claimed it was touching someone's back. A strong sense of unease spread through the group.
I'm touching your back.
I'm touching your back?
Whose back are you touching? Mine or hers?
Manipulation.
Are we close to you right now?
People have seen me.
People have seen me?
Was he the one that maybe you saw going into the tent?
Maybe. I think this is the boy. Okay, Chelsea, I'm not even joking when I said that.
I believe you.
I saw someone like dart like this
Nightmare.
into the tent, and like the back arm is what I saw.
Let's go back to the tent and see if the little boy is around there, and maybe we can communicate more with him here.
The experience reminded them of a figure they believed had rushed into their tent during an earlier visit. Hoping to establish clearer contact, they turned their attention toward the tent. Soon afterward, the name Thomas seemed to come through, and the mood around the campsite became noticeably heavier. The team began believing Thomas was a lonely and forgotten child trapped somewhere in the forest.
I'm feeling energy this way, Chelsea.
Yeah? Okay, let's check it out.
Thomas.
Hello, Thomas. I assume you're the little boy.
Death is not the end.
Thomas, are you able to tell us how old you are?
As they questioned him about his past, his apparent frustration continued to grow. They tried to comfort him and explained they were willing to listen, but the responses remained vague.
Did you used to live on this land? Did you have a house here?
I'm angry.
That's twice. I'm upset. I'm angry.
Are you able to tell us why you are angry? Or what is making you angry?
Without warning, a nearby sound caused everyone to stop. They listened carefully as the sadness connected to Thomas seemed to grow even stronger. The campsite no longer felt the same. When the group tried to move away, they repeatedly found themselves returning to the same location. The air felt increasingly oppressive, and one investigator warned they should not remain there much longer because something felt wrong.
I'm innocent.
Somebody's telling me that the boy was murdered.
Satanic.
Is that true? Were you killed?
No.
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell. Can you help me with my glove again? Sorry.
It's them.
The hell is that?
Could be a helicopter.
That sounds different than a helicopter.
Yeah, it does. I don't see anything.
What the f?
Why is it so low?
Could be a helicopter.
It might be.
Or is it one of the drones?
No, I don't think so because there's multiple lights on it. So I kept saying something about like innocent.
Something tells me that this boy is lost, and there's a story behind this boy. And I think he noticed us from our first time here, and he's like, "Oh, you've returned back 3 times now?
Yeah.
Tell my story." Like, it's just like in my instinct, like this boy is alone.
I really feel that he's like been forgotten. So maybe us getting his story out, if he's willing to tell us his story, maybe that can help bring him some closure and not be so upset.
Yeah.
They also realized that reaching their vehicle meant walking back through the same area that had frightened them earlier. The team became convinced Thomas might be trapped there. They considered searching old records to uncover his story, hoping that learning what happened could somehow help him find peace.
You know, and the scary part is too, babe, is we have to walk back through that part to get back to the car.
I know, right?
When we've been feeling safe over here.
Oh, man. Trapped.
This poor child.
Yeah, he is trapped.
I feel so bad.
Acceptance.
why he doesn't want to like come through to like me in that sense.
Maybe he's just like cautious.
Maybe.
Was that just in the forest? Was there like a... Did you hear that?
I didn't hear it.
Huge branch.
Just before leaving, another strange message suggested that time did not exist. The word sent a chill through the group.
Time does not exist.
I don't know how to explain this. This is weird. Time doesn't exist.
Destruction.
I cannot feel my legs,
Yeah, it's
my
good.
toes.
Immediately afterward, their night vision camera stopped working. One team member also felt a powerful pressure pushing downward, convincing everyone it was finally time to leave.
This is nuts. So our night vision is completely dead. Am I the only one hearing stuff in the distance? Like back that way?
Many viewers later argued the investigation appeared heavily staged. Even so, experiencing something similar alone in a dark mountain forest would be difficult to ignore. Cold weather can drain camera batteries more quickly, while darkness and uneven terrain can make nearby sounds harder to locate. Even so, the timing of the messages and equipment failure remains unsettling. Was Thomas real, or was fear shaping the experience? On November 6, 2024, Brant was documenting a solo through hiking journey along the Appalachian Trail with his dog Garvey. During this stretch through the Georgia mountains, he was heading toward Helen to restock his supplies. He was exhausted, running low on water, and crossing terrain that had remained largely unchanged for centuries. Along the way, Brant found a hidden campsite just off the main trail that initially seemed like the perfect place to stop. However, after noticing that something appeared to be living beneath the nearby rocks, he chose not to stay and continued hiking. He later stopped beside the trail to record a brief update. That was when the encounter began.
Good morning. The last of my water in the form of coffee. Yeah, this is it until I can find water. I guess my next water is hog pan, which means going over Wildcat with no water. I think I'll be all right. I'll get up there early before the sun starts beating down. I won't sweat as much.
While Brant was speaking to the camera, he noticed what appeared to be another hiker walking along the trail. The figure seemed to be wearing hiking gear and carrying a backpack. The person looked clear enough that Brant stepped off the trail to give them room to pass. He waited, but no one ever appeared.
It's not the greatest. It's, I mean, it would work. There's a kind of a flat spot right there. I walked down this little side trail a little further, and I'm kind of glad I did because there's some sort of animal den underneath that rock. I don't want any animal encounters this evening, so I think I'm going to keep on going. Hey, talk about creepy. I was just down at that Stell site there checking it out, talking about it, and I heard and saw a hiker coming down the trail. And I thought I'd stay at the campsite and wait for the hiker to pass. And the hiker never passed, and there's nobody here, and it's freaking me out right now. I've got chills up and down my spine. Yeah, this is weird. I'm getting out of this spot. I'm telling you, that's yeah, if the animal den wasn't enough, yeah, this is the spot where I thought I saw somebody. That's the second time today that's happened.
Brant checked the trail in both directions, looking behind the nearby trees and along the path. There was no sign of the hiker anywhere. The experience gave him chills, especially because he believed something similar had already happened earlier that same day. Uncomfortable staying near the area, Brant continued along the Appalachian Trail and put as much distance as possible between himself and that location before nightfall. Trees' curves and changes in elevation can briefly hide someone on a mountain trail, but Brant searched both directions and found no trace. Did the hiker quietly leave the trail, or had Brant witnessed something else? That's it for tonight. Which moment creep? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story, share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.